Alright, fuckers, welcome back to Artwod, portrait roadmap, right? Practicing portraits, drawing portraits. We're on a specific section which requires us to spherify. What the fuck am I saying? Just turn a fucking face into a sphere, do the center line, do the horizontal center line, which is the vertical center line, the horizontal center line, which is the eye line. I'm going a little bit further, just trying to place the features, generally, placing general features, and then obviously I'm going to turn a helmet into it, which is going to be me visualizing the sphere, right? That's basically it. So we're on rep number 11. Join me, draw along, right? Get your pen, pencil, what the fuck, digital pen out. Obviously, I'm going to heavily encourage pen as it's going to build your confidence. But if you're a pussy, please get your pencil out and keep erasing, right? Especially, and if you, yeah, digital tools, same. Keep on doing and don't actually commit to anything. What is this, reverse psychology? Hopefully. Right, but yeah, draw along. Let's fucking get to it. Right, I'm very well aware like these beginner portrait videos aren't gonna get shit for views, but I assume about a good 40 hours in, when the things I draw actually start to look like consistent faces, then people will be like, how did he do it? Oh, and it's like, oh, he just practices fundamentals and really focused on visualizing. But what am I doing? I'm gonna bring out a Pinterest reference, right? It's just a board that I found of portrait faces, and then I'm gonna look at it as I'm doing right now. I'm gonna try translating it into a box and then putting a sphere inside that box, and then hold that image in my head as I translate it over to the sphere that I'm now putting it on the page, right? At the end of the day, we're just really trying to visualize. I believe this is like a very subtle top angle, like very subtle. And this is amazing because we can actually, what I'm doing is I'm building the skill of seeing things that don't exist, right? That's what imagination drawing and drawing forms actually is like none of these things exist. It's a fucking horrible ellipse or perfect circle, I guess in this case. But it's getting better, right? And it feels amazing that the fact that like it's shit, right? For lack of a better word, right? Garbage, maybe even better. But let me look at the reference again, right? Again, I'm trying to see the box. Pretty sure we see. Okay, I see the top of this guy's head. So, okay, I think it's something like this. It's a subtle curve. I do have an issue. I'm trying to work on that in making the curve too. Okay, see, that's too much. It's an amazing feeling when you make a mistake. That is way too much of a curvature. It's trying to be subtle, but clearly, it was not subtle. Therefore, is my phone charging? I hope it is, because I connected it to the laptop. And if it isn't charging, I'm absolutely fucked, because now this video is gonna end in like 10 minutes. I should probably check if it was charging. But yeah, see, like I have a problem, right? This is a huge problem, is I curve it a bit too much. But again, am I saying problem in a negative manner? No. I'm just saying it as a fact. See, like this curve is also gonna be a bit too much, but at the same time, I'm trying my hardest not to make it as pronounced. Right? And it's all inside the box. It's all inside the box. Now we're gonna place this dickhead's features. I think a nose would probably be a good place to start. Right. Oh, by the way, everybody, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 999 right now, which is crazy. I'm sure people watching in the future are gonna be like, holy shit, this guy was fucking jizzing over 999 subscribers and he's at fucking 3 million now. I am very certain that will be the case. But for the time being, yes, let it be known. We all start from somewhere. Right? We all start from somewhere. And I'm starting from absolute filth. And it's not because I'm brown. It's actually because I bathed it in shit earlier today. That's why, right? And again, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to translate the features that I'm seeing on this person, right? On this guy, and I'm trying to, even though the face is not like I said this last episode or last video too. I know the face is not like this in terms of the sphere, right? It's more like this, right? Like we have a much more subtle curve. But for the sake of spatial reasoning, fuck, I dropped my pen out, I caught it, oh my god. But for the sake of spatial reasoning, I'm also trying to make sure that I can place it on this curved plane, which is the spherical plane, right? And also try to make sure that I'm accurately placing it in the proportions. This is why I love this, because it's teaching me proportions as well. Like looking at references is great in that regard. And obviously, again, like it has to follow that contour, right? This guy is Asian, so his eyes are very small, unlike my own. I'm fucking brown, so I have bug eyes, right? But unfortunately for you, mister, your eyes are not as small as my girlfriend's, who's also Asian. So, hashtag Raka somebody, as they say. Let's see. It's not a fucking episode of me drawing if I don't make some racist remark, right? Well, he'll be happy to know that he's a male model and I live in my parents' basement. But that's not bad. And the lips are down here. And this is where, like, it's obviously going off the sphere, off the plane, you could say. Right? And I guess we will just do something like that. We'll just make the lips like this. There you go. Whatever. Not bad. It's actually, like, they're all starting to look like faces, not intentionally, but this is just me trying to figure out. I'm really, really, really trying to, and again, like, this guy's face, the curvature is off. Like, this should be a lot flatter. This horizontal eye line should be a lot flatter, right? But I'm glad I'm slowly just starting to, because what I'm focusing on right now is, yeah, looking at the box, seeing the box in my mind, right? It's obviously very off, but now I just have to acclimate my vision to the box that this sphere has created with the center line, right? And obviously, like, the goal is to consistently see this as I draw, and to be able to accurately reflect a box and the center line and the sphere, like, and the sphere at the center line, the horizontal center line, the vertical center line, and to accurately essentially project that onto the reference I study, and then hold that projection and then apply it onto the page, and then hold that projection yet again, and now, as you can see, apply it onto a helmet. And now there's another skill completely with, like, this quote-unquote helmet design, which is design, right? Hard surface design. Very, very, very difficult skill. And what I'm trying to think about now is just, like, clearly I need to, because I've been looking at a lot of helmet designs as of late, and the big thing I'm taking away from this, and none of what I'm about to say is profound, right, is just, there's like a, yeah, there's just, there's like a face area, or like for the eye or whatever, right? And I'm really trying to hold the sphere and the box inside the sphere in my mind as much as possible. Yeah, then there's that, and then there's like bigger shapes, which essentially are outside of that. And the hardest thing is trying to figure out what those bigger shapes are. That's genuinely the hardest part. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, like, okay. What I mean is that in hard surface design, we essentially, what we have is I have to visualize a box, I have to visualize the sphere inside that box, I have to visualize the center line, like the eye line, and the vertical line, right? All of that. And then I have to, on top of holding all of that visualization, and this is just the way I'm approaching it, I think, like, personally, because I just like pushing my brain, right? So on top of that, I now have to design shapes, three-dimensional shapes that are wrapping around that, right? Just wrapping around that form. And that is where the true difficulty comes into play, and that's where patience comes into play. Because I don't know how to design, right? So I really just have to take a step back and think and be like, okay, well, what are the shapes that I'm trying to convey, right? And, like, it's super difficult, because right now I'm also trying to think about, like, what, okay, obviously I'm trying to explain this, but I'm also trying to think while drawing. What I mean by what are the shapes I'm trying to convey, the simplest way I can say it is, what are the three-dimensional masses that I'm wrapping around the sphere, right, which is contained inside a box. Okay, so what are the big three-dimensional shapes? So, you know, like fucking primary, tertiary, secondary, big, medium, small, whatever bullshit fucking design principles we keep hearing over and over. So, like, thinking about it in that sense. And then, like, this is the big lump shape that I seem to be creating, right? Now, on top of that, it's like, what are the main ones? Like, there's gonna be this one, I'm thinking maybe there's gonna be another one like over here and then another one down here, right? There's all of that. Cool, wonderful, sick. And then it's kind of like, what are the little additions that are being made to those shapes? Like, are they being cut out in a certain way, or are they being intercepted, or like, do they have little fucking thingies like attached to them? Right, and all of this, while I'm doing this, by the way, I'm trying to visualize this center line, and the entire sphere at the same time. So, and of course, like the shapes I'm trying to make relatively aesthetically pleasing, which is why when I say I'm trying to visualize or project a 3D mass wrapped around the sphere that I'm visualizing, it has to be an aesthetically pleasing sphere, which only comes through trial and error and experimentation with angles and all that stuff, right? And obviously looking at examples. So like if I look at the example that I have, because I just have it open on Pinterest. Okay, see, like, yeah, now I can be like, okay, there you go. I think I have a little bit of a better idea now. Just a little bit. And this is why me taking my time is of the utmost importance. Because nothing is accomplished without taking time. At least nothing decent. And this is very difficult. See, because that's the center. And this is very likely to look like shit at the end of it. Let's not forget that part, by the way. Like, there's no guarantee this is gonna look good. At all. Right? But what am I doing right now? I'm just trying to kill my fucking brain. I don't give a shit if it looks good or not. I just give a shit that I'm really trying to hold all of these things in mind while I draw. Right? Everything else, literally everything else, is just a byproduct of that. And that's all that matters to me, is that I try to hold as much in my head as possible while I draw. Right? Now, I'm sure I already messed up the perspective because this center line's looking a bit off. But it's okay. Because I'm okay. I'm just trying to survive. Right? I'm probably going to stream later today. I'll do 2 hours of drawing. I'll do an hour piano, and I'm probably going to stream because today is 1,000 subscriber day most likely, and somebody on the stream probably will be my 1,000th, or it'll happen before that, right? But I'm just trying to think. See, like we're trying to make big shapes. Like this is one big shape. Now I'm thinking maybe. And that's the beautiful thing, is like I have to think about this entire sphere and everything around it in the box, but I also have to remember that helmets aren't just some shapes wrapping around a sphere. Things break outside of them, like this. This is not a good example in the sense that this is not a good design, but it's a decent example in the sense that I broke out of that spherical shape, right? But again, like the center line is here, and I haven't really reinforced that the center line is there just yet. Right, but it's what it is. It's very difficult, which is why I really appreciate it, because anything that's worth doing is going to be difficult and never going to be easy. And if it is easy, then I'm not trying hard enough. And right now my brain is dying, and that's good. Like it's really, really, really struggling, right? Again, like what kind of shapes do we have here? Right now, this way I could actually follow the perspective that I've established. That's a bit better. Just focus on big shapes right now. Just focus on big shapes. There you go, something like that. Right? It's like, again, like it's intersecting something that's intersecting into it. Right? It's cutting in. That's nice. That looks relatively aesthetically pleasing. Right? While trying to keep the perspective in mind. Nothing incredible at all. And that's okay. I really hope fucking years down the line this is helpful. Because right now anybody watching is not going to understand the merit of what I'm doing. But I would like to really believe in the fact that it will mean something for those who give a shit, right? For those who give a shit. Oh, I got so emotional with that voice crack. For those who give a shit, yeah. Right? Because that's all this channel is at the end of the day. It's just me trying to be like, hey, anybody can draw. Anybody. And if you don't believe that, get the fuck off my channel. Why are you here if you don't believe that anybody can draw? I genuinely don't understand what you're doing here. Okay, see, like now I'm really struggling because I've created... There you go. There you go. Because I didn't realize the logic that I had established there for a second. Right? Because it's all logic too at the end of the day. Right? We're not trying to be perfect with perspective, but we are. Like the way I go about it is like, be as perfect as you can. So your margin for error, when it happens, it's so, marginal, it's so minimal that you might as well be drawing perfectly for everybody else. That's what Kim Jong-il did, right? Everybody's like, oh my god, his fucking perspective is amazing, but was it the fucking best? No, actually, like, if you break it down, there's a lot of random fucking errors that are happening all the time, right? But it's the cohesiveness of it. It's the fact that he's, from what I'm gonna observe and what I'm gonna believe and project onto my own art, is that he's trying to really achieve mastery and excellence and just really get it down. And he's an example that comes to mind, but Dong Ho Kim, Scott Robertson has an entire book based on this shit, right? Of like, mirroring planes and getting really technical with perspective. Again, while I'm talking, by the way, which is a skill, drawing and talking is a skill, I'm trying to think about what shapes. Like, again, you see, like this I didn't think about before, but it's all about like maybe little cutouts will make a difference, right? Maybe it'll make a difference in terms of like aesthetics, because design, so much of design is just trying to understand aesthetics, right? And I don't think this makes sense. But overall, it is starting to look more like a helmet, right? If I just, cut this in, cut that in. And this is great because a lot of these errors are also coming from my line quality, which is, say it with me now, garbage. Right? And you will have the right to think that, hey, my lines are okay, right? But not that anybody will. I highly doubt anybody thinks my lines look good. But if you do, that just means your standards need to be higher than mine, or on the level of mine, right? Because, again, like trying to hold that sphere in there, I lost it for a little bit, but I feel as if this is definitely my best attempt yet. Like 100% my best attempt yet. Right, even though there's a bit of logic, there's a lot of logic that I missed on the other side, because it's hard to project the same thing that's happening on one angle that we can see very well to the other angle, right? But overall, I feel as if this is definitely my best attempt yet. And I think it definitely is, hopefully looking like, this is the center line. And this is the, oh fuck, see, mistake. I mean, that was just, my fucking finger went over the thing. That was really difficult. I'm actually very proud of myself for how difficult this was. Because it's only, all that matters to me is the difficulty, right? And again, like we want breathability. So, what is happening here? Like what's being attached here? There doesn't seem to be anything clear that's attached there. But I'll leave it for now, because if I lack the clarity and I lack the understanding, I pushed what I could. It looks okay. It looks okay. I'm going to rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well, and then we're going to move on to the next reference. But I think this is a great way to practice two things at once, which is technically I'm practicing the same thing. What am I really practicing at the end of the day? Visualizing a sphere, visualizing the center line, the vertical center line, the horizontal center line, which is where the eyes are, and I'm trying to design something over it. I will have to do this down the road anyways. This will have to occur. No matter what, this will have to occur. So why not just do it now and really fucking push myself? That's just the way I like to think about it, right? If you want to get good, I feel as if that sort of mentality is something that has to be prevalent no matter what you're into, right? Which is you have to push yourself. But either way, we'll leave that as is. I think proportions are getting a little bit better too, but I'm gonna rest my brain, thank you, please. I encourage you to do so as well. BRB, right? I don't know why I hashtag that, but whatever, fucking BR back. Okay, I'm back. See, that was fast, right? I hope you rested your brain as well, you piece of shit. But yeah, there's a lot about this that doesn't make sense. So obviously I need to see how these shapes connect as well, right? And especially when projecting it to the other side. Like, this probably should have been much further out. See, because we should be able to see that other side a little bit better. But either way, I made the mistake. If I keep going over it, the mistake won't be clear anymore, and then the design will also not be clear anymore. So let's find another face to roast. Oh, this girl looks like very roastable. She has a pixie cut. And for the sake of this this roast session, I dislike pixie cuts. Disgusting blonde woman, get out of my sight. Elizabeth Debicki, who the fuck is this? Debicki? Elizabeth Debicki. Cool. Okay, so her face is tilted. So another problem I have as a beginner, or just somebody who's shit, is that when I'm looking at a tilted box, if box I'm looking, or the face, but obviously I'm trying to translate into a box and a sphere. If it's like this, her face is like this, my face will also end up being like this while I'm trying to analyze it. But we can't do that. We cannot be manipulated by a reference, right? So, let's see. Okay, so it is obviously a tilted box. I'm seeing the top of her head, right? No, am I seeing the top of her head? What the fuck is this face? I'm seeing the top of her head. Okay, it is. Yeah, we're not seeing the bottom of her face. Okay, I'm trying to analyze it. I'm just trying to project a box onto this face and then put a sphere inside of it. Let's see. This is super difficult. I fucking love spatial reasoning as a challenge. It's so good. Okay, so we don't see like an insane amount of her head, but we do see a little bit. I feel as if this is it's still not this much. There's so much subtlety here. Okay, well let's draw the sphere, and then we'll project the eye line, or not project, but draw the eye line. So let's draw the sphere, which represents her face. Let's obviously try to make a good sphere. Unless the pen tries to shit itself again. Okay, that's actually probably my best sphere yet. Right. Okay, pen is working as God intended. Let's see. I don't know if anybody's heard of third PHP, like, you know, third THIRD and then PHP, right? Really cool art YouTuber. He was streaming today and I just hopped on. And it's like people are just asking the same shit. And I feel for him, man, because he's very patient, but it's always beginners asking the same shit. Does it take work to get good? Yes. Does it take a lot of work to get good? Yes. What style is that where you use forms to represent the mannequin? It's a fundamental. Oh, but what style is that? I'm gonna fucking shoot myself in the head. God damn it. And I wasn't even the one answering these questions, he was. Okay, so let's centerline this. There you go. Yeah, as you see, it's very subtle. And yeah, again, like I'm trying to tilt my fucking head to this, but that's something I want to avoid. Okay? And then the center, the eye line, this is the difficult part, and this is the most important part. It's very subtle. It's like this. Right? And then obviously that's where the fucking sphere goes, which is just this part right there. Again, you can see I struggle with this angle a lot. Like I do it right here and then I fuck it up here. So we really got to see it to fruition. And I think I've been doing the feature placement wrong. Maybe I've been drawing the noses too big? I don't fucking know. Or no, I don't think I have, maybe. It's just the fact that because it's a sphere, the jawline jutting out is just part of it. Like, technically, the jaw should be right there, right? Like, if we were to fucking... It'd be like that, right? Again, I haven't drawn the fucking Loomis head in a while, but that seems to make sense to me. It's a very masculine woman now, but... Bottom, right? I have a large bottom. Okay, let's see. So I'm pretty sure we're seeing the top of her head. And I'm pretty sure it's extremely subtle, so... There you go. Yeah, it's literally this subtle. And we can't forget this. This is a half of an ellipse. That's pretty decent. I think I could have made it even more subtle, for sure. But this actually isn't that bad. At all. So now we'll add her features. Everybody has the same fucking features, bro. Everybody has eyes and eyebrows and shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Nobody's unique anymore. It's creepy. But either way, let's add her nose. Right? Just again, like it's not about accuracy for me right now, because I already fucked that nose up. It's just, I'm just trying to get the features down. In terms of placement. Right? Like that is not what her nose looks like at all. I want to be very, very, very clear. That's not what her nose looks like at all. I'm just trying to get the features down in terms of placement and relation. Because again, every time I look at her face, I'm trying to see this. Like what I've drawn here is what I'm trying to see. Right? That's the thing. Like we don't want to see people as people anymore. We want to see them as fucking shapes. I don't know if the eye line is supposed to be exactly center or above. That's something I'm not sure about at this point. But this is a bit closer, so this is This is actually much closer. Right, she's looking away. Okay, so I fucked up her eyes, but the beautiful part is I can just give her her eyelids, which is exactly what I'm gonna do here as well. Okay, still fucked it up. Again, I'm trying to see. And this is good. Like this, I'm really happy that we can just start dehumanizing people and just start seeing them as spheres. Because I've been wanting to do this my entire life, but never had the chance until now, so I'm actually very excited. Right? I no longer have to care about rights, human rights specifically. And because she's a woman, I have to care about her rights. Her rights even less. Can't even make a fucking sexist joke without stuttering. God damn it! Hashtag Viggy is a failed sexist. Everybody make that trending, please, in 50 years. Right. My husband, he tried beating me, but he gave me $500 instead. So sad. Okay. Let's give her a little eyelashes too. Wee. At least I know she's feminine. The eyelashes. Okay, so there's obviously a lot wrong. I misaligned her eyes. Like this, I put the center line. This one I didn't. So that's a really good mistake. Again, my head keeps trying to tilt, and we got to straighten that out. Ain't no tilting in this household, boy. We're gonna straighten you out. But, and then let's see. And this is obviously where like the jaw part of the Loomis head will come about. But for the time being, we'll just, there you go. She has like a little smile. But it's nice. It's like you can already start seeing features and people, right? See? It's not bad. It's starting to look a little bit more legitimate. Again, this is the beautiful part. I haven't learned features or anything yet. I'm just trying to focus on placing them accurately. I mean, I already fucked that up a decent amount. This definitely should have been a lot lower, or at least just aligned. But now I'm gonna visualize and keep this fucking, because I actually did not think about the contour as much. Clearly, right? It's very clear I wasn't thinking about the contour as much. But now when I draw this helmet, I really obviously got to think about it, right? I don't know if I'm gonna draw down here. It's a bit retarded to fucking draw like this. I'll just flip the page over. We'll have like 12 reps per page, roughly, I guess, right? This is good. This is like decently spaced out, right? I know, I hate that there's extra space down here, trust me, but I also care more about my own comfort when it comes to drawing. And yes, I literally could fit more, like proportionally. I know I could. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna waste the bottom fifth of the paper, right? Okay, so fuck this girl. I'm done looking at her, right? I'm gonna look at my own rendition of her and salivate over that instead. But let's see. Now, keeping this box in mind, right? Keeping this very, very, very subtle box in mind and the sphere inside of that, we must now design a helmet. So obviously, I'm gonna look at the references, the examples that I have, and see what can be done. This is the best part. Like, I'm literally trying to visualize this sphere with the center line, right? So it's very difficult. It's extremely difficult. I'm gonna tell you right now. I probably already made a mistake, but it's really, really, really hard to tell sometimes. But this is the best part. This is literally the best part, is the fucking insane discomfort I feel. Right? If you don't feel discomfort, I'm telling you right now, you're not learning. Like, you're just not learning. Okay? Like, there's no lying to yourself. Do not lie to yourself. Am I uncomfortable? Yes, no. Am I extremely uncomfortable? That's the cue I keep trying to give myself, is like, am I in extreme discomfort? If the answer is no, then fucking get to it. Be in extreme discomfort. Right? Because there's literally no other universe that I'd rather be in than the one where I'm suffering. Because that's where I'm learning. So, there you go. Hashtag Viggy Inspires, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And again, like, while I'm doing this, I'm doing my best. I'm actually failing miserably, which is a good thing. See, this line was horrendous as well. Oh, and I made it worse by trying to go over it. But I'm failing miserably because I'm trying to literally visualize the entire sphere and the center line and the box and everything around it. Right? But it's just not happening. It's just not happening. And that's okay. Because it's not happening, it's okay. In fact, that's literally where I want to be, is that it's not happening. This might just be hard for people to understand, but the more I can get someone to think that discomfort is the best thing that can ever happen to them, the more I feel as if I've done my job. as a quote-unquote art YouTuber, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? I don't really consider myself an educator, but some people seem to be inspired by me, and I appreciate that. And yeah, if you want to be inspired by me, I encourage it, right? Like, inspiration can come in many shapes and sizes. Mine specifically is 12.5 inches. But the shape, unfortunately, is lacking girth. But there you go. See, like, I'm just trying to think of, like, the tiny shapes that make up this helmet. Is it good? I don't fucking think so. I think it's all ass. But again, like, what am I thinking of? Because I have to think about, okay, this is, like, one big shape that I've wrapped around the sphere, right? What's another big shape that I can wrap around the sphere while also retaining the perspective, right? Let's see. I'm just trying to think. And this will most likely be a failure. I'm going to tell you right now. What I'm doing right here will most likely be a failure. And that is what I'm looking forward to, because I'm really trying to visualize this. I'm telling you right now, I'm really trying to visualize this. There you go. I'm basically trying to think of a cutout, like what can be cutting into this, right? And I think it is a failure, which is great. Something like this doesn't really look good, right? Doesn't really look good at all. We can agree on that. But that is how we learn. That is how we learn. Now, it's too late, so I've committed to this. We have to remember, like, I'm also thinking about that sphere at the same time, right? Really trying to think about that center line and the vertical center line and the horizontal center line, which is the eye line. Really, really, really trying to think about that. Will what I'm doing work? Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. Like, that's the beautiful part. It doesn't matter if it works. What matters is I work and I try. Right? Because at the end of the day, whether it works or not, you are going to be working all the same. Right? That's just a fact. Whether whatever you try succeeds has no bearing on whether you made an effort. Because the effort is the success. And I'm in extreme fucking pain. Sorry, I'm never going to use that word. I'm going to really refrain. I'm in extreme cognitive discomfort. There you go. I'm in extreme cognitive discomfort. Trying to figure out shape design and what makes sense. Right? Yeah, we don't use the word pain. We never use the word pain. Pain indicates suffering. And yes, discomfort is a form of suffering, but that is not. See, that's a mistake. I don't know what I did there. I don't even know what I was trying to do there. I literally don't know, because I couldn't visualize and problem solve. But you know what I could do? Just keep trying. Just keep trying. Right? And maybe one day, after enough failures of trying, it'll start to look to the general onlooker, right? It'll start to seem as if they're all successes. But I'll know, and hopefully by me stating this, you will know as well, right? Hopefully you will understand that none of this was by accident. That none of this is just I'm just vibing. No, there's none of that here. There's no fucking vibing. It's all to the best of my ability. Like Antonio said this something in his latest video, right? It's like, stop chasing the grind. And I guess I've been associated with the quote-unquote grind at this point, right? For some people. But what he says is true. It's like, you're not chasing the grind. I personally am just chasing discomfort. The grind is the quote-unquote grind is a byproduct of the discomfort, but I don't give a shit about the grind. I only care that I just learn and try as much as I can. right? And he said this one thing is like, you gotta have a relaxed mind. And that's the balance, right? It's like I'm trying to balance having a relaxed mind while also trying to think about a bunch of things at once, you know? And that's just how I like it. I like discomfort. I like learning. And by the way, this isn't me saying, oh, I just like it that way. That means you can do it however you want. Fuck no. For success, discomfort and learning to love effort is a prerequisite, okay? It doesn't matter how you do it, but know that discomfort, failures, and focusing on the effort and learning to enjoy the effort you put in are prerequisites to even a modicum of success, right? If you consider what I'm doing right now, quote unquote, a reflection of some little bit of success, right? Just some. Nowhere near what it should be, or what it can be, or what it will be over the next 50, 60 years of my life, but just some, right? Know that I've trained myself to enjoy effort and to enjoy discomfort and to chase it to the absolute fucking best of my ability. That was a mistake. See, it's not lining up. Right? Now, this entire thing's just gone to shit. But does it matter that it's gone to shit? No. What matters is that I really tried to not make it go to shit. Like, I genuinely did. But so much of it went to shit that it's just what it is. Right? Now, obviously, see, I fucked the perspective up. And again, I'm trying to also make sure my lines are clean. And also make sure, like, design makes sense. Million things. Literally a million things that can and will and should be thought of. See? Because, like, this is slightly off. This is like this is a center. Because it's even, right? It's way more even than I wanted to make it. But that's the thing. That's the thing. I was always correct. That's the thing. I'm a man. Yeah, all I can keep saying is the same shit, which is please, for the love of God, learn to enjoy trying. Just literally learn to enjoy trying. And to start associating trying with success. Because then you've made it. Right? That's just a hashtag Viggy opinion, I guess. Except it's a fucking fact, alright? Anybody who's successful has tried their ass off. And people who try their ass off and succeed either hated it or loved it. Right? There's really no in between. You know? So, which one do you want to be? It's as simple as that. And the answer is, I want to be the person who can learn how to love effort. Because you can learn how to love effort. Everybody can train themselves to love effort. It's literally a fucking skill. You know? And stop calling shit boring. Call it difficult. Call it stimulating. Call it cognitively or physically demanding. But for the love of God, don't you fucking dare disrespect it by calling it boring. Because you're a beginner. You don't have the right to call it that. And I don't either. 50 years from now, I still don't have the right to call any of these skills I learned boring. Because they're very difficult. Alright? Let's see. Is there anything else I want to add here? You know what? We'll just add slight design things just so at least I'm aware that there's some semblance. There you go. Little cutouts, I guess you could call it. I know this probably seems a bit off. So maybe we could have, if I look at the example, again, like, do I know what I'm doing? Not in the general sense, but I am trying to figure it out, right? It's like, where are these shapes coming from? Where are they cutting out from? Maybe like cylinders attached to it, right? But you don't want to, I don't want to, see, like, that's too much already, so we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. I'm going to rest my brain. That was very difficult. But I think, like, I genuinely already feel as if I'm getting a better understanding of just, like, okay, like, big general shapes wrapped around it, right? And just start thinking about, like, okay, like, with the big general shapes, what is happening, right? Like, what are the little additional manipulations that are occurring inside of it? You know what I mean? And this will require my level, clearly at the minimum, of spatial reasoning, right? Like, to do it to this proficiency, you have to have my proficiency, right? To fail to this extent, essentially, right? For your failures to look like this, but failures will exist no matter what. right? If I just want to keep fucking saying the same thing, because it's like either you're a beginner and you will just internalize, or be like, either you're listening to this and you're gonna be like, I will do my best to try to internalize this mindset because it is a net positive on my learning journey for not just art but any skill, but very specifically art. Okay, either you're that person, which is who I want to address, or you're the person who's gonna be like, okay, like that. I just imagine a fucking brain dead retard just drooling out of their mouth, being like, oh no, I don't want to do difficult things, right? That's what I think of, right? And if you're that person, get the fuck off my channel, because I don't want you here. I want someone who wants to try. I don't expect perfection from you, because I'm clearly not perfect. All I expect from myself is effort, and all I expect from you, right? If I were to expect something from you, because I'm just some random dickhead on the internet, I don't have the right to expect anything from anyone, but purely due to my passion and wanting people to do better for themselves as striving artists, just like I was and I still am, if I were to expect anything from you, is to please fucking learn that you can train your brain to enjoy trying. And there are right things to try on, right? There are foundations to try on, right? If you want to segment between, I'm gonna draw for fun and I'm gonna draw for studying, that you literally have the ability to blend the two and just to make studying fun, right? This is the funnest thing in the fucking world for me. I would not trade any of the practice I've done at all for quote unquote fun, which most people equate to just being mindless doodles where they're not stimulating themselves and then they bitch about why they're not learning, right? But I'm not saying that like, oh, you can't draw in the sense that you're not, everybody's allowed, and I do this too, we're all allowed to just draw and not think, right? But if we are trying to get better, right, then we have the ability and the responsibility to train ourselves to enjoy the process of getting better, which is sheer discomfort, sheer effort, and sheer focus on difficult things, which is spatial reasoning in this case, and in many cases for art, a lot of it will boil down to how good are you at fucking thinking in 3D and manipulating shapes, right? Like, it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. But what I'm trying to say is, you can make learning fun, right? What a fucking surprise. Again, the education system failed every single fucking one of us, right? They just taught us how to memorize and to not ask questions. At least mine did. At least my education system in North America did, right? If yours didn't, wonderful. You don't even need to listen to what I'm saying, because clearly you've probably already internalized what I'm saying, right? But if you needed a reminder, here it is, right? Putting in effort is fun. And we can train ourselves to associate errors with dopamine, which literally means when we put in a lot of effort and we make a lot of mistakes, we simply just keep forcing ourselves to feel good. We can tell ourselves, as you guys can hear, by the way, I'm not just full of shit. You can hear every time I make a mistake, I'm like, amazing, 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 amazing. I'm not just saying that shit. Every time I say it, I'm forcing myself to feel good. And now it's just an automatic response, which I still continuously apply because it doesn't matter, right? It's a habit, it's a skill, which needs to consistently be reinforced. With that being said, I'm gonna rest my brain. Shut the fuck up. Why are you talking so much? You're wasting my time. Okay, anyways, now that I'm done with my fucking rant, or not rant, my ramble, the autism was leaking through, I do apologize, right? Let's see how many subscribers I have. Did I hit 1,000? Watch me distract myself while I draw. Fuck, I'm still at 999. You cunts, get to it, one of you, please! I said I didn't want to waste a page, or like I did want to turn the page over, but there's a perfectly good section right here. 12, 13, 14. And we'll do 13 right in the middle and then we'll call it. Yeah, so we'll do this and then we'll do one in the middle, whatever. Right, so 13. I do hope people listening are drawing along. Right, again, guys, sheer effort and the ability to enjoy the effort and to not only enjoy the effort, but to just consistently believe in that the effort you put in is all that matters. That is all that matters. Right? Let's try to find an interesting angle. I want a bottom angle. Oh, there you go. This person is looking down. Why does everybody have such a fucking squishy jawline from the bottom, bro? Be like me. Just have a Giga Chad jaw. What's wrong with you? Anyways, there'll be many people who think I'm joking, but I'm actually very attractive. I'm just unfortunately too self-aware to be like, me, I'm attractive. I never thought of that. I'm just like, yes, I lifted for 10 years. I specifically leaned down. I put on a lot of muscle. I breathed through my nose, right? I did all the fucking mewing shit, which is literally just good tongue posture for my entire life, right? Would you look at that? How fucking surprised am I when people are like, oh, you're good looking, right? Now, has it had any net benefit on my life? No, because there was fucking first 5 years of sheer autism, just being in my own head between the ages of 18 to 23, where I'm like, oh my god, I'm not an ugly duckling anymore, right? Hashtag Viggy opens up about his past. Yeah, no, I went through a really shitty puberty in high school, and everybody treated me horribly. Right, I lost a lot of my friends because I was just ugly. I was just an ugly brown kid. Right, which I guess is the default, is what people think when it comes to brown people. You see a lot of shit on the internet, which is why you gotta stay away. Because if you're brown and you ever want to see opinions on your race, don't. Because they'll have you believe that you're like fucking scum, you know. But that's just the current meta. First it was the Jews, then it was the Gypsies, and then perhaps the Yiddish also came into play at one point. And then people forgot that they actually existed. And now it's back to the Indies, the Indos, the Indians, right? It's fun. People must think I care a lot about this because I talk about it every now and then, but I care so much that I will only talk about it as my response. I don't know, it's just something that's on my mind every now and then, right? I'm aware I'm a brown guy, right? But how brown of a guy am I? How guy of a brown am I? That's a real question. Okay, so what box is this? Yeah, please, I guess, if you want to take what I'm saying seriously, take it seriously, but just, for me, my life moves on. It doesn't really make much of a difference. Right? People in my city are relatively nice. Despite not being white, they're like, you, you're one of us. And I'm like, no, I'm like, I can't do the swallowing noise, but just pretend I swallowed that spit, and I'm like, oh yes, I am one of you. Right? Please, master, give me more water, I am thirsty. Let's see. Breaking news, 5 years from now, Viggy Vodka gets cancelled. Will I get cancelled is a real question. What if I just don't acknowledge it? Or what if I only acknowledge it? What if every single one of my thumbnails is just about me being cancelled? Right? That'll be fun. I have a bulletproof strategy for not being cancelled. Either acknowledge it every single second of my life and go into a depression, or don't acknowledge it at all and live a fruitful, happy life. I'm thinking the former is a much more viable strategy, but we'll see. Right? By the way, what I'm doing is I'm trying to think about the box, because this is the bottom view. Definitely her eyes are like this, right? It's like she's like this, like that's what I see, right? If we were to put it in a sphere, this is what I believe it'll be like this, right? That's what I think it is. I think that's pretty accurate. I'm getting a lot better at being able to see this. I think the subtlety is just what I need to master. This must be whiplash for anybody listening. Like, what the fuck? This guy went to talk about like his race to the brown people to like back to fucking art, and now he's talking about he's back to the drawing. The answer is yes. To every single one of them. Right? Yeah, self-awareness is a curse. Sometimes it's like, am I taking the meme too far? Am I memeing so hard that it's not a meme anymore? It's just who I am? No, it's the people that are wrong. Okay. So okay, I think I know what kind of box this is. Right, let's create a nice perfect circle, hopefully. If this pen doesn't, oh, already fucked up the perfect circle. Okay, it's okay. And again, like I keep reinforcing good feelings. Like, so like even these are errors. Even these are errors, right? These lines that I've been making. This ellipse is a bit too small. I would have ideally liked it to be a bit bigger, right? A bit bigger. But okay. So now this is the part where it's kind of like this, but it's just the opposite in terms of like it's just this angle and this like the degree and depth of these ellipses, but just tilted this way, right? Like in that direction. So again, like when I'm looking at this girl, apart from extreme rage, I don't even have a joke there. I thought I was thinking of something, but I couldn't clearly think of it. Sometimes I just want to say things that are mean. Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? Can I just be a dickhead? Would you be surprised that she's also Asian? I think this website has a bias. Hashtag bring back white rights. Right? If you heard white rice, you're a racist. I said hashtag bring back white rice. You know, lots of people are eating brown rice these days, and I don't know if that's the best choice, to be honest. Right? I'm not sure. Man, my art skills are gonna be so good if I can talk shit like this and still output something decent 10, 15 years from now. Imagine all the shit I've been talking, but I'm just drawing something pretty good. It's like, wow, he's so skilled, I can't even be mad at him. You know, like, subscribe, and report as hate speech. Let's fucking go. Okay, see, I'm already like internalizing a much more skewed. Okay, this has to be super subtle, because that's what I see right now is a pretty subtle ellipse. This is actually pretty accurate. I should reward myself with a Blumpkin. But, okay, it's relatively accurate, but the curvature is wrong. Like, it's not centered properly. But overall, it's okay. Overall, it's okay. There's about like 15 things wrong with it. 14 of them being me and the fact that I'm the one who drew it, but we shall have to see. Right. Okay, let's get the nose. If that's the center line, okay, then this is the nose. So this is the nostril. Again, it's not about like accuracy with the nostril right now. It's just about fucking making sure that the placement is relatively correct. And again, thinking about it in terms of a 3D form, resting on top of a, for the time being, a curved sphere, right? And then again, you know, let's indicate this plane of the nose. Basically, it's the exact same angle as this. Yeah. And again, like, I don't know how to draw a nose yet. That's probably not going to be for another 3-4 months of spam. Right? So, let's see. Okay, well, let's draw our eyes. Let's get the eye placement down. I think she's stoned, bro. She's looking at me as if she just hit a fat fucking joint. Please, I'm recovering. Do not tempt me. Right? And then other eyes here. Let's see. It's not really curved properly. Well, it's more straight. Like, her eyes are actually much more straight. This angle is difficult purely because the practice I'm doing right now is less about like an accurate rendition of the features and more so just about placing them on a plane while still trying to make them look relatively interesting and believable. But she 100% looks high as fuck. What the fuck? Now she just looks cross-eyed. You know, I'm gonna get rid of this fucking highlight. Otherwise she's just gonna look fucking retarded. But, don't we all look retarded? The answer is, I don't answer that. Right? Let's see. Her nose, her fucking lips are gigantic. Why do these girls have such giant lips? Be like me. Have crusty lips instead. Okay, and again, this is purely just for proportion's sake, and it's off-center. Oh wow, I think I made the nose off-center too. No, actually it's not off-center because the fucking lips... This is a 3-dimensional plane, right? Yeah, the jaw juts out because we are not accounting. Jesus Christ, bro. This is cross-eyed fucking just abomination right here. Let's give her eyebrows. Maybe that'll make her look not as bad. And again, every time I look at this, I keep forgetting because it's a skill and I have to keep training it. Is to see the sphere and to see the accurate placement. Essentially, see the sphere that I'm drawing, put it on her face, come back, hold it, and remember where exactly things are located, right? Again, the main goal isn't really purely like, oh, okay, everything has to be exactly accurate. But what is it actually? It's actually that just getting used to drawing features on a 3-dimensional plane, a curved 3-dimensional sphere, actually, more than anything, right? This doesn't look like her. Please do not take this as an accurate rendition of her face, right? It's actually 10 times worse, which is why I'm really trying to avert my eyes when I look at her. But with that being said, I am not lookist. I'm just a look realist. That doesn't work. That joke doesn't work. Ignore me? Ignore me? Actually, don't ignore me. Like, subscribe. But anyways, now I have to keep that in mind. It's not centered properly. I didn't make her nose centered to the thing properly. Yeah, never mind. This is off center. This right here it's off center. Yeah, it should be shifted to the right. That's something to keep in mind. Right, but this is great. This is fucking amazing. Amazing practice. It's already been 53 minutes somehow. So, actually, I think I do have space for one more here, but I guess I'm doing it after all. Who would have thought that I figured out the genius tactic of lifting the page, right? It's okay. After I'm done the drawing, I'm gonna just do something like this, and that'll be my thumbnail, right? God, I have to fucking burp so badly. Jesus. Okay, but again, this bottom angle is good because now I have to think about where to start from, right? Again, I'm really trying to internalize this, right? This is there's the sphere, the center line, everything, the proportion I'm trying to internalize. But that's why right now we are trying to think about what makes sense. Because this is the bottom of the sphere that I'm drawing. And I don't want to be too daring in the sense that, okay, like I'm losing it already. This is the beautiful part. I'm already losing it, right? It feels as if I already fucked up the perspective, but we have to go with this now. Because I have to think about the shape that I'm drawing, right? And again, this is like me trying to think about that center line. I love this. I love this difficulty. This is what makes me feel like I'm alive. This moment right here. Some of you might be thinking, wow, he feels alive when he draws a bunch of lines. It's not just a bunch of lines, man. What is it? It's not just a boulder. It's a rock. Right, that type of shit. So that's the way I see it. Is it's not just a bunch of lines. It's shapes and forms. Okay. Again, like this is the bottom that we're seeing, so I really have to internalize this as shapes. And this is, we're seeing more of this side. Okay, and again, like it's this way, so right, this is the contour, so this is the something like that, hopefully. Okay, oof, that's hurting a lot. And again, I have to think about the box, right? Because, so, actually, it should be like that. That should be a bit higher up. Okay. Let me just think. Because I do want to, have it wrap around. I do like this little wraparound that I'm doing, like over here, like it wrap, because that's reinforcing the form, right? So something like this. But I think that's a bit too small now. So obviously, like I still struggle with that. It's clear that doing a wraparound while thinking about the form is something very difficult, right? And again, I'm trying to think about that center line, very subtle center line. This, in general, should have been much larger, but we've made the mistake, so it's much smaller now, and that's fine. Right? This as well. It's not really something I wanted to do, but it's something we've done. See, that also looks very bad. But again, like these are all, like I make the mistake, I accept it. It's as simple as that, right? If we don't accept it, then we might as well kill ourselves. Should I have a hotline in the chat? Hey, yo, hotline the chat. Hotline bling in the chat, actually. How far is too far when I'm banned? Let's see. But no, I'm not actually trying to be edgy or anything, for anybody actually wondering. I'm just saying really stupid jokes, hoping that somebody would be like, that's really funny, I want to give him money. Bars. I'm not a rapper, though. Okay, see, like these are the little small tertiary shapes I can have. Cutouts, I guess you could call it. There you go. And then that, we can close it off there. Okay. This is definitely starting to look decent, although again, like it's, let's see, maybe we can have something like this. See this, well maybe, okay, that's already too much, but I've committed now. It's very difficult, but you know what? I'm actually have made good progress, right? All that analyzing of the helmets. By the way, when I say I analyze, I mean I just look at it and be like, what is happening, right? Like what is actually happening? And then vaguely I start thinking like, okay, there's cutouts, there's intersections, there's like, but it's all being determined by like larger shapes. So like this over here, like this big thing right here is a larger shape, and there's like little things happening on it. That's a medium one, that's a medium one, this is a large one, this is like a medium one. Same thing, like this is a big one, this is a big one, and like, these two on the sides are like medium ones, right? Big, medium, small is so fucking vague, and I understand if anybody struggles with trying to understand it, right? Because what the fuck are these artists saying? Like, what are they saying? Oh, big, medium, small. Oh, like, yeah, just fucking focus on the shapes. Like, okay, what it actually means is that you have a surface area. This is my understanding, right? I'm gonna try to break it down. If any part of this resonates with you, please take it. If it doesn't, then sure, like other parts you may have to look elsewhere, or maybe, you'll listen to this again and be like, okay, that kind of makes sense, right? But it also depends on your skill level and your understanding of spatial reasoning. But I'm telling you, I'm explaining it because concepts are easier to understand than they are to apply, right? So even if you can't do what I'm doing, hopefully by me just saying what I'm about to say makes it a little bit easier to understand. And this is, by the way, with my current level of skill and what I'm going through, I'm literally going through the experience of trying to figure out design, right? So big, medium, small is just the surface area, right? Like very primary, large shapes that come in many different, like, they're angled this way, they're cut out this way, whatever. But the point is they're large, like they're like a range of shapes. Like if this is big, then this is medium, and then this is small, right? And let's say this is our plane, or this is the form that it resides on. And this form can be curved, it can be waved, it can be a sphere, it can be anything. But these shapes are essentially wrapped around it. Or yeah, they're wrapped around it, right? They don't exactly have to follow the form one-to-one like here, right? Like they're not clearly not following it one-to-one, but they are essentially, they're hugging it, right? They are, and form wrapping is a technique, by the way, right? And all I understand is the fact that this big, medium, small thing is just sheer experimentation oh fuck, that was a fuck up. Sheer experimentation in trying to figure out essentially like what is a nice ratio of these forms, Like what is a nice ratio of these forms? What like how many of these shapes do we want? What makes sense, right? That's just what I am starting to see now when it comes to this big, medium, small bullshit, right? But it's mainly just like you're wrapping things around, and like over here, look, I'm gonna probably put like a little, there you go. We'll do this. There you go, right? And that's like a little hinge that's connecting them, but they need to have a little bit of logic or whatever. But there you go, like that's a medium shape, that's a medium shape. Oh, like these two are big, and like this is like medium, this thing is small. But you see how this is wrapped around, right? And that's what I'm currently making of it right now. And the aesthetics comes from experimentation. Like, do I want a shape that's jutting out like this, and like, oh look, that's one plane that's jutting out, that's another plane that's jutting out. What if I have something that's coming outside of that, and then there's like a little fucking cylinder coming through there, and then even this shape has a little jut out, right? And then even this one has a little jut out, and then oh look, this is actually multiple rounded, and these are all skills I have to learn because I'm not just doing this out of my ass. These are all skills. Every single one of these are skills, right? And like, oh, maybe this is like a cylinder there, and like, oh, okay, now that's also jutting out there, and there's a cylinder there, and then maybe this is wrapping around and it's going around here, and like, okay, that didn't work because it looks like shit. Okay, now that's experimentation, right? It's all what if. That's the learning and trying process when it comes to design right now, from my experience, right? Like, it's all what if. It's all what if. And right now, my what ifs are looking pretty decent. Nothing amazing, but they're looking pretty decent. Like, what if I do this, right? Because this is small, and then these two are like slightly larger, and it's symmetrical. Cool, right? This is starting to look like it's from the bottom, and maybe to reinforce that, maybe I'll do something like this, right? But like now we know, like, hey, I actually kind of fucked it up, and I couldn't really think about the box and the ellipse accurately compared to this, right? But like, hey, I got the center part right, but I didn't get this part right, And like, oh look, let's close this off because that's obviously something that was a mistake, right? But it's not accurate and it looks kind of wonky. But there you go. Like, I hope that explains it. Like, when it comes to designing and big, medium, small, all that shit, like, what I'm currently understanding is it's just your three-dimensional forms that are wrapped around a structure. So like, again, like if there's an arm, right? Like, let's say for anatomy, it's an arm, which is actually just a cylinder, right? And it's like, okay, I want to draw like a fucking bracelet or like a gauntlet thing around it, like what ratio do I want for that thing? Do I want it to maybe go like that, and then it comes out, and then it goes like this, and then it comes down, and it's like actually like that, right? And then we have little fucking random diagonals that are coming out, right? And then it goes this way, and it's also jutting out, and it goes that way, and oh look, it's actually even on that side, and then it's coming out. That kind of looks like a train. But I hope the point makes, and again, like I don't know how to design anything for anatomy or forearms, but the point I'm trying to make, and what I'm currently understanding, at least for hard surface, at least for mechanical things, right? But I think the general principles translate over is like, what I'm learning and applying, and even though this I could have thought a lot more about, I feel as if overall I've done a decent job, is because I'm starting to think in like large forms. So basically you think large forms wrapped around form, right? You think large shapes wrapped around the general form, which in this case is a sphere, and then we experiment, like we hold it as much as we can, and then we start experimenting with those large forms and what angles they can cut across and all that shit. By the way, this all looks really horrible because I had no intent. Like I was explaining and it was difficult to talk and explain all that stuff. But you can see the line work is really fucking garbage, right? Like it's really fucking garbage, but and like there was no intent here. I don't know what I was doing here, right? I actually don't know what I was doing here, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. But I hope that makes sense. I mean, I'll leave it at this. We're not gonna do another one there. I'll turn the page over for the next session, which will be literally in probably 20 minutes from now, right? But I really hope that makes sense. And don't forget, like I'm going through the process and I'm still learning, right? When I actually figure out design decently, once I get to a point that objectively the general populace will be like, hey, those are really good hard surface designs, or those are really good mech designs, or those are really good blank, like at least right now in the context of mech designs. Once I get to the point 5-10 years from now where it's like objective, like, hey, this was good, I guarantee I'm gonna make a fucking course and I'm gonna sell you motherfuckers that course. But I will try to make it as extensive as possible, especially all focused around 3D shapes and really starting from the fucking basics to actually designing things that make sense. Because and the thing is, it will be different than what I'm doing because I'm going through the trial and error to see what works and what doesn't. But when I make that course, only what works will be in it. So obviously, you'll get the pure efficient downstream of what I'm going through here, right? So yeah, buy my course. But with that being said, it's been an hour. Yeah, okay, that was a great session. I'm gonna obviously be back in like 20 minutes. But with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please, give me money.